I recently published a comprehensive video on the ketogenic diet. In that video, I mentioned that I would do a follow-up in which I speak about the foods that I eat. I've also received a lot of requests to do this video. I think this is the most requested video of all time since I started my channel. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to break my diet down into 8 categories, and I'm going to cover all of the foods that I eat these days. And then after that, I'm going to cover 1 full day of eating. Now, before I dive into the details of my diet, I want to emphasize that I'm not saying that this is the best diet for everybody, and I'm not recommending this diet for anybody. All I'm saying is this is the approach that works for me in this chapter of my life. With that said, let's dive into the first category in my diet, fats and oils. I get approximately 1/3 of my total calories from the following 3 sources: organic virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, and unsalted grass-fed butter. Most days I get over 1,000 calories from those 3 sources alone. So like I said, almost 1/3 of my total calories comes from those fats and oils. Next category, vegetables. I eat a lot of leafy green vegetables. My top 3 at the moment are spinach, Brussels sprouts, and broccoli. I also eat small amounts of root vegetables, well, sweet potato and brown onions. Yes, brown onions, even though they're a bulb, they're also considered a root vegetable. I eat small amounts of those in the evening time after I've been very, very low carb, high fat for the previous 23 hours, and usually after I've done a resistance training workout in the late afternoon. Next category, I really just want to get through these. I don't want to go into the science much in this one. The purpose of this video really is just to share with you what I eat, like I said I would. Next category, fruit. I eat very little fruit, practically zero. The only 2 fruits I consume at the moment are avocados and lemons. And I don't actually eat the lemons, I just use the juice from them and squeeze it into my water with my evening meal. So yeah, just avocados and lemons these days. The next category, meat, fish and eggs. At this point, I have to say sorry to any vegetarians or vegans out there who are watching this. I completely respect your beliefs and your approach and your way of living. But yeah, I eat meat, fish and eggs. I eat organic free-range eggs. I eat grass-fed Irish beef. I eat lamb's liver. And I eat wild Pacific salmon. Next category, flavorings. I use sea salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, that red pepper, and I use mixed herbs and spices. The main herbs I use these days are basil, sage, thyme and oregano, and the main spices I'm using are turmeric, cumin and ginger. Next category, nuts and seeds. I eat small amounts of nuts and seeds pretty much every single day. My favorite at the moment are cashew nuts. I also sometimes go for mixed nuts, which includes almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, hazelnuts and macadamia nuts. In relation to seeds, the main 2 types I'm eating these days are pumpkin and sunflower. Next category, drinks or beverages, whatever you want to call it. In my other video, as mentioned, I consume about 2 to 4 litres of water a day. Now, I'm including all beverages in that number. So as well as drinking pure water, I consume herbal teas. My top 3 at the moment are lemon and ginger, peppermint and rooibos. I also drink black tea. Several times a week I'll have a cup of black tea. And these days I'm also drinking small amounts of coffee, maybe 1 to 2 cups a day. Now earlier this year I made a video in which I spoke about the fact that I stopped drinking coffee. Since that video, for reasons that I'm not going to go into now, I have started drinking small amounts of coffee again. I might address that subject in another video sometime, we'll see. So yeah, that's it for my drinks. Now let's move on to the final category in my diet, which I'm calling treats. My main treat these days is 85% dark chocolate. once or twice a week I'll indulge in a bar of that. Now, as well as that, a handful of times a year I will have things that aren't in my usual diet. Like, I'll give you an example. Recently I spent a week with my family, and during that week I had some ice cream, I had some cake, I had some brown bread, and I had some rice. Now, none of those things are on my usual diet, but like I said, a handful of times a year I will indulge in things like that. The next time it happens will probably be Christmas. So usually when I'm around my family, I end up eating things like that. And I'm okay with that. I think that's absolutely fine to break out now and then. No, it's not on my usual diet, but yeah, handful of times a year, I'm okay with that. Right, that is it for my entire diet. It's simple, it's convenient, it's nutrient dense, and it helps me to stay fit, lean, healthy, strong. It's good for my skin, hair and nails, and it's good for my energy levels. So it clearly works for me. Now let's look at a full day of eating. I'm going to share with you the day before yesterday, which was Thursday the 6th of October 2016. Who knows when you might be watching this video? Could be years from now, but I think most of you will be watching it within a couple of days of me making it. So Thursday the 6th of October 2016, this is what I had. And by the way, the reason I'm not sharing yesterday, Friday, is because I ended up fasting for most of yesterday, because sometimes that happens to me. If I'm consumed in a work project, I might just fast right through lunch and not eat until dinner time. That happened yesterday. Now, it's rare that happens, but sometimes it does happen. And that's one of the things I like about intermittent fasting and the ketogenic diet, is because I can do that without getting ravenously hungry. But most of the time, I have 2 meals in the day. One at around lunchtime and one at around dinner time. And that was the case on Thursday. And Thursday's a good example of a typical day for me. So let's look at that. The first thing I consumed on Thursday was, at 9 a.m. I had a high-fat coffee. In that coffee I had 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and 1 tablespoon of butter. It's kind of like a bulletproof coffee, if you're familiar with Dave Asprey's work. I'm not calling mine bulletproof because I don't use the exact ingredients that he talks about. Here's how I make mine. I get a glass jug, I put 2 tablespoons of coconut oil into that. I put 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter. Then I brew the coffee separately. When that's ready, I mix it all together. I get a hand blender and I blend it up, and it turns into this frothy beverage, and I think it's fantastic for starting the day. I get some serious energy from that, and it keeps me going for about 4 hours. So I don't eat again usually until 1 o'clock. On Thursday, what I had at 1 o'clock was a high-fat omelet with spinach and avocado. Let's look at what went into that omelet. I had 4 eggs. I cooked it in 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, more coconut oil, 1 cup of spinach, half an avocado, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds, a pinch of sea salt, a pinch of black pepper, and a pinch of mixed herbs. That was it for my omelet. After that, I had a mug of peppermint tea. That kept me going for the next 5 hours. I went to the gym later in the day. At 4 o'clock, I walked to the gym. It took me about 25-30 minutes. I do that most days. And then when I get to the gym, I do 20 minutes of high intensity resistance training. And followed by that, I do a sauna. And that's what I did on Thursday. So after my workout and my sauna, at 6 p.m, I ate 70 grams of cashew nuts. I buy these in a store on the way home from the gym. I get a small packet of cashew nuts nearly every single day, sometimes mixed nuts. And part of the reason why I buy them on a daily basis is because if I had bags of nuts in my house, I would find it very hard to not eat them. That's the case with certain foods for me. Same with dark chocolate. If I have dark chocolate in my house, I get a bit compulsive with certain foods. So my way of dealing with that is just not having them in the house. So I just buy my small packet of nuts on my way home from the gym on a daily basis. Like I said, 70 grams of cashews is what I had on Thursday. My second main meal on Thursday was at 7 p.m. I had 2 peppered beef grill steaks, half a sweet potato, and 1.5 cups of Brussels sprouts. Now we'll look at what exactly went into that meal. Okay, the 2 peppered beef grill steaks, they're kind of like burgers with flavouring on them. This kind of peppery flavouring, really like those. Then the 1.5 cup of Brussels sprouts. On those I put 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, and a pinch of sea salt. The half sweet potato, I cut that into small cubes and I stir fried it in a wok in 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. Then for flavouring on that, I put a pinch of black pepper, a pinch of red cayenne pepper, a pinch of mixed herbs, and a pinch of sea salt. And that was it for that meal. I washed that down with a pint of water with ice in it and the juice from half a lemon. And that's everything I consumed on Thursday. Now, I did have a few more beverages on Thursday evening. Between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I had 2 mugs of lemon and ginger tea. I like leaving my herbal teas to the evening because they're caffeine free. So yeah, that was it for Thursday. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. And yeah, now let's look at a quick breakdown of that day. First of all, total calories, 3,263, according to MyFitnessPal. Carbs, 85 grams. Protein, 109 grams. And fat, 253 grams. That is it for my high-fat, low-carb, moderate protein diet. To conclude this video, I want to emphasize again what I said at the start. I'm not saying that this is the best approach for everybody. I'm not recommending it for anybody. All I'm saying is this is what works for me in this chapter of my life. 6 months to a year from now, my diet may look a little bit different. I'm a man, I always like improving things in all aspects of my life. But as of right now, I'm very happy with my diet the way it is, and I don't plan on making any changes anytime soon. That is it for this video, my friends. Thank you for tuning in as always. If you've any thoughts on this subject, your comments are welcome below as always. And yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Until next time, take care of yourself. Peace.